Morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
We are welcoming the Vidya Vijay Foundation Group.
Thank you,
So
sir.
very warm welcome. And Miss Yasika will introduce you. Thanks for giving your
Sir, shall I
time.
begin?
Yes, yes.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all on behalf of Vidya Vijay Foundation. This session aims to enlighten us all on the professional opportunities under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. This session will be taken up by Intellect Epitome Insolvency Professional CA Manindra K. Tiwari, who is professionally qualified Insolvency Professional, Chartered Accountant, Company Secretary, Graduate and Diploma in International Trade Laws and WTO issues from ICAL. He has also done post-qualification expertise certification from ICAI in FAFD, ADR, anti-money laundering laws, bank concurrent audits, etc. He is a partner with leading chartered accountant firm in India, namely GSA and Associates LLP, and having 20 plus years of domain expertise in corporate law, insolvency and bankruptcy laws, forensic accounting and fraud detection, labor laws, commercial laws, international trade laws, FEMA, RBI, WTO, carbon and sustainability, anti-money laundering laws, arbitration and mediation, and management advisory. He is playing a lead role in formulating and executing plans in terms of accelerating growth cum operation and revival strategies due to expertise in his management and legal acumen. His litigation counseling and representations are always highly acclaimed by fellow professionals as well as all stakeholders, which makes him a class apart in the field of insolvency and bankruptcy. Now, I would like to call upon Mr. Tiwari to proceed with the session and embark all of us upon this topic with his knowledge and wisdom.
Thank you, Yasika. And thank you, Vijay Vidya Foundation also, Nityanandji, for giving me such a kind words as well as a platform to share our all views and whatever the nitty-gritties and professional opportunities with IBC 2016 and all esteemed participants and learners. So, can you permit me to share my screen?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes. So,
Requested to all of you to mute. Miss Sakshi, please mute yourself because there is some voice. And Sambhavi as well.
I assume all our participants are professionals,
Yes, sir.
chartered
Yes.
accountants, company secretaries, and advocates.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, please. So today we are going to discuss what are the professional opportunities under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. This act, in fact, a revolutionary code, includes so many acts, and after inclusion and mergers are so many acts, this arise that IBC 2016. This is a milestone in Indian economy to boost ease of doing business processes. After this, along with the GST Act, this has been passed by the Parliament in 2016. And due to this act implications, our ease of doing business from 110 or 105 it was earlier in 2015 14 to 16, and right now it's 63 position or 62nd position in ease of doing business due to this act implications. IBC is one of the biggest economic reform adopted by India. This is a one-stop solution which addresses all insolvency in a time-bound and economically viable setup. Maximum timeline has been given to resolve any company under this Insolvency and Bankruptcy Act is 330 days, 180 days along with 90 days of extension. So 270 days, and so few periods has been exempted. So altogether 330 days court has adjudicated that 330 days will be the maximum days under which any company can be resolved during if they come under Insolvency and Bankruptcy. IBC has significantly helped India in achieving the historical jump in ease of doing business rankings. This has brought a significant change in a power sharing equation between creditors and debtors. As you know, any business is controlled by the owners, but during this insolvency, if you are going to adopt this insolvency, creditors will take control, who has given money, who has lended money to you, and they are secured by your assets. They will take control of the assets through resolution professionals, and thereafter they will run the business. They will sell the assets if required, or sell altogether the business and pay off the creditors' money. Things have turned smoother under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code that rebalance the right of promoters, banks, vendors, and employees. All are the stakeholders who are going to be affected during insolvency and bankruptcy procedures, and that's why this has turned to be balanced with everyone. Objective, if we can say, we are just making all outlines of the IBC so that we will understand that how and what kind of opportunities we professionals have in this IBC domain. So if you will see the objectives of the IBC, an effort to improve the ease of doing business. This is to promote the entrepreneurship, because earlier what happened before IBC, if any company fails or any business fails, they will be criminally treated, and thereafter they are not given any chance by government or society to run their business again and start any other things. But as you know, as a human being, we are bound to fail for ventures, and if any venture will fail, it doesn't mean we will start another one and we will fail also, and we are criminal that because we have failed the business. Therefore, this is to promote the entrepreneurship in India. This IBC has been introduced. Improve.
Sure, closer to that, then we'll plan.
Sudhir sir, kindly can you mute, please? Thank you, sir. Improve availability of credit at low cost. Balance the interest of all stakeholders. Balancing means how we will provide their dues to the creditors, whether they are secured or non-secured, whether they are financial creditors or operational creditors, where they have given their duties as an employee, as a workman, or whether they have given as a professional services, or they have supplied some goods or something. So we will balance all their interests at the time of taking care of all these resolutions. Maximization of the value of the assets of persons under financial stress, either by resolution or by liquidation or bankruptcy under a fixed timelines. So under IBC, we will see three types of resolutions. One is directly to take control, resolve the company, sell as it is to another businessman, and resolve the company. Or if sell is not possible in the running business, so we will liquidate the company, sell their assets, and distribute the money to all the stakeholders in their proportion. Bankruptcy is also the same. In case of individuals, we will term it as a bankruptcy. And all these must be in a fixed timelines. Now, under IBC, there is a main pillar is insolvency professional. Insolvency professionals, if you are a 15 years of experience and practice experience, either a chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, or advocate, or even management graduate and having 15 years of experience, you can pass the limited insolvency examination and become a insolvency professional. So under insolvency professional, this insolvency and bankruptcy code, insolvency professional is a major pillar of this whole area of domain of working of IBC. The opportunities with insolvency professional is like interim resolution professional, up to 40 days of the admission of this insolvency cases, they will act as an interim resolution professionals. They will constitute a committee of creditors, and then after they will be appointed as RP, or another one will be appointed as RP, who will be a insolvency professional only. So opportunities as an insolvency professional is, first, after admission of the case, they will act as an interim resolution professional. Thereafter, they will work as a resolution professional. After 270 days, they will be appointed as a liquidator, or some another one will be appointed as a liquidator, but they must be insolvency professional only. Representative of a creditor in committee of creditors, you can act if you are an insolvency professional, you can be act as a representative of a creditors. In case of real estate business and insolvency cases, there is a representative of house owners, flat owners. They will be represented by insolvency professional. Representative of a class of creditors, that is also a one area of working. Voluntary liquidator, as a voluntary liquidator, if you can go as a voluntary liquidator, that can be also insolvency professional can take up that case. Resolution professional for individual, partnership, proprietorship firm. Bankruptcy trustee for individuals, and promote as an insolvency professional entity. If you are an insolvency professional, you can promote as a partnership form of another insolvency professionals, and that will be known as insolvency professional entity. They have some major areas. They can be allotted some major clienteles in the by the NCLT or IBBI in case of major insolvency corporate structuring. Now, this is a opportunity for insolvency professional who has gone through registration of insolvency professional. Come to the point that how we will be appointed and how we will be engaged as other professionals. We are not a insolvency professional, but we are a chartered accountant or other company secretaries or advocates, and how we will be appointed or engaged in this IBC arena. So other professionals can be engaged as a support services to insolvency professionals. Whatever insolvency professionals are doing, their business, day-to-day running business, or their day-to-day workings, and the company which are under CIRP or liquidation, so their support services can be provided by other professionals. As an advisor or as an attorney to corporate debtors undergoing corporate insolvency resolution process, if you are an advocate, if you are a company secretary or chartered accountant, you can be an advisor or attorney of the corporate debtor who has failed their business and the control has been taken by insolvency professional and financial creditor. So the corporate debtor who is suffering, you can be advisor of that corporate debtor also as a professional. Consultation of entities under financial stress. The companies and entities who are under financial stress, yet not going through CIRP or under IBC, you can be a consultant for that company, that how you will save that company from going to liquidate or to going to insolvent. protection against insolvency attacks and recovery of business debtors and advances through IBC. This is a major area, that protection of insolvency attacks, that so many right now bankers or operational creditors who has, as you know, that insolvency and bankruptcy code provides three category of applications. One is from financial creditor, another one is from operational creditor, and third one, the corporate debtor himself can go to the insolvency and bankruptcy code to NCLT for their resolution. So these insolvency attacks now a kind of recovery mechanism that bankers can threaten that I will file the case against you for insolvency. The control will be taken over by us of your business. The operational creditors can also threat the company that if you are not going to pay my dues, what I have supplied to you, and it will be a more than 1 crore of default. So during the default and our applications will be completed, we can file an application for insolvency and we will take control of your business. So these kind of threatening protection can also be provided by other professionals. Advisor to resolution applicant for taking over the companies. Another area of opportunity is that if a company is going through stress, and that company during the CIRP period, CIRP means corporate insolvency resolution process. So during that
And dear friends, due to some technical error, we are reconnecting again. Please be with us. Yes, sir, please.
Extremely sorry for disconnection.
No, no, sir, there is some technical issue, please.
Yeah, sorry. So, advisor to resolution applicant for taking over the companies. So as you know that during CIRP, if debtors has been controlled by the insolvency professional through this COC is taking control of all these businesses. So they want to sell all these business to another company or another stakeholder or investor who is interested in that kind of business. So they will provide a resolution application and resolution proposal for taking over of that company. So that resolution applicants, you can be an advisor of to that resolution applicant. So many good businesses and so many investors are here in India that they are always looking after a good business proposal, because in these NCLT cases and these insolvency cases, they will get a good buy out of all these availability in a market. So afterwards, after taking over all these businesses, without any liability or responsibility and any dues or connections, they will get all these business in a neat and clean way through NCLT, and that business they can sell or run in a profitable manner afterwards. So you can become a advisor to resolution applicants. They are basically investors in SIC companies or this IBC companies. Another kind of opportunity will be the transaction audit or forensic audit. During CIRP, it's a mandatory for a insolvency professional to appoint forensic auditor or transaction auditor. Forensic audit is basically a broader term to the transaction audit. Transaction audit is basically for a 2 years or 3 years time period, and they will only verify the transactions of banks, that how it will go, where it will go, and whether it will be to the related party, whether it will be for beneficial mode, they have been embezzled this money or not. So these are the transactions audit. But in a case of major issues and major things, a forensic audit will work. Forensic audit includes all these software audits, all these extraction of data from the data bank or something hard drive or something. So these forensic audits needs some specialized technical knowledge, but in a practice, all professionals, whether MBA graduates or this chartered accountants, cost accountant or company secretaries, they can do the transactions audit. And transaction audit is a mandatory terms in these process, in these CIRP cases. So as one area of practice will be transaction audit. Services as a registered valuer. If you are of 3 years of experience as a professional, and if you pass the examination by IBBI to the valuation examination, you can be adopted as a member to that body, valuer body, and you can be worked as a valuer also. So in the case of registered valuer, that is also a mandatory clause in CIRP, that you have to appoint 2 registered valuer to value their assets. Assets are of 2-3 classes. One is a plant and machinery classes, another asset area classes, and one is securities classes. So chartered accountants are basically in security classes they can work, and other professionals can work for plant and machinery and also in other way. Consultancy under Sasakt scheme of RBI. RBI has given one circular, issued one circular in 2018 and 19 for one scheme of revival and restructuring of the business if they are going to fail their installment money or interest money. So in a very limited way, they can revive the case. So other professionals or professionals who are not the insolvency professionals can take up these opportunities also as an advisor. Now come to the point of support services to insolvency professionals. How the other professionals can support the insolvency professionals. Insolvency professionals have a duty to prepare information memorandum. Information memorandum means all assets, liabilities, as it is the business, and what is the actual status as on date. That is to be known as information memorandum. Time to time, the NCLT, COC needs all these things, and professionals can help insolvency professional in preparing these information memorandum. Preparing a report on business and financial operations of the corporate debtors for the previous 2 years. You can prepare a business report which will be valuable for COC, that how it will run the business, how it will sell the business, what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of that business during the last 2 years, so that they can plug the loophole and run that business profitably. Claim verification process. Claim is also a major challenge to any insolvency professional, and it's very voluminous and numerous value, that how you will verify the claim, whether you will admit that claim to be given or not, whether they are supported by proper evidences or not. So in that kind of verification process, other professionals can help the insolvency professionals for as an opportunity. Evaluation of asset and liabilities at a date of commencement of CIRP. From the date of CIRP, that the control of the business will go to COC through insolvency professionals. So before CIRP, as on the date of commencement of the CIRP, what will be the asset and liabilities that has to be verified and ensured through books of accounts and other documentary evidences. So that is one area where professionals can help to insolvency professional in preparing that thing. Examination of resolution plans. If resolution plan come from 2-3 persons, 2-3 investors or business purchasers, so that examination, whether it is as per law or not, whether it is feasible or not, whether it is not from the related party of the earliest debtors, and all these kind of investigations and business viability chances, that is to be evaluated by other professionals as an opportunity to help the insolvency professionals. Internal audit, also an area of work to the RP, where special focus is to fund flow leakage, plugging the leakage, and how to run the business. Stock audit during the CIRP, as a RP is responsible for protection of assets while the business is being run by the key managerial personnel. A statutory audit in case of RP wants to change the auditor and COC approves it. So in that case, a statutory audit can also be taken up by other persons. Audit of income and expenditure of corporate debtor during liquidation process, that is one opportunity. All compliances of corporate debtor during CIRP, for which RP will be appointed as a professional, that is also an area of work and support to the insolvency professional by other professionals. Another area is advisor, attorney to corporate debtors undergoing CIRP. So the corporate debtor is the word who is the earlier business owner. You can become an advisor or attorney. How you will become the advisor and attorney, and in what areas you can work specifically, that is to a strategy for dealing with the corporate insolvency resolution process, that whether it is going as per legal way or not, what kind of rights you have, whether they are exercised your rights or not, whether they are protecting your rights or not. Compiling all the information required by resolution professional time to time asking so many informations, details and documentation, whether they are legally bound to give those documentation or not. You can be an advisor to the corporate debtor in all these things also. Preparation, submission and discussion on resolution plan. You can also be given your views through corporate debtors. Advisor to corporate debtor for getting the forensic and transaction audit conducted. So during the transaction audit and forensic audit, the corporate debtor main area of focus, and as an advisor you can advise him that whether it is within permissible limit as per IBC or not, whether this forensic audit can be done or not, whether they are related party or not, how they will establish the things, and whether they will come under those heads or not. So you can be an advisor as a forensic and transaction auditor also. Identifying and evaluating reasons for financial stress. You can identify and evaluate regions of financial stress of the corporate debtors, and you can advise them that how they will ease out all these things. Arriving at sustainable debt of corporate debtor and promising a financial structure for revival. This is a pure financial advisor, and you can arrive a sustainable debt, that what kind of rate of interest is there, whether in a market, how it will be available, whether these are under secured assets or under unsecured assets. So that kind of advisory you can take up with corporate debtors. Consultation to entities under financial stress. This is the business. This is the business consultation where the company going through financial stress, you can be a consultant to that company. Identifying and evaluating the distressed companies. First, you have to identify those companies for restructuring and rescue planning. Develop a strategy to mitigate the risk. Whether as a business planner, you have to develop a strategy that how the risk can be avoided. Working out a detailed bankable financial structure of the business. Working out a detailed plan for restructuring the business from all angles. All angles means financial as well as operational as well as social things. Because so many business fails due to employees nature, so many business fails due to the geographical planning failure, so many business fails that their logistics are so different way in a different area of geography. So these kind of things you can be an advisor, where you can suggest the company that how you will survive and how you will regain their structure. Working out a assessment of distressed asset, cash position, due diligence, and turnaround feasibility. You can be an advisor in that. Advise on utilization of resources to the optimum level. Drafting insolvency petitions if required for opting for restructuring under RBI circular dated 12/2/2018. That is a Saksham, this Sashakt scheme. So you can represent the company and draft the petition that how you will avail that circular benefit. Representation before the National Company Law Tribunal and Appellate Tribunal for clients also. You can take up that cases. Negotiating settlements with bank and other creditors. Advising for merger or acquisition or takeover, that which can be a beneficial way. You can advise to the company which are going through financial stress. Advisory services to management on an ongoing basis. You can be taken this assignment also to the company which is going through financial stress. Protection against insolvency attacks and recovery of business debtors and advances through IBC. Identification of defaults by person and protecting from insolvency attacks. So you can identify the defaults, that whether they have defaulted of rupees 1 crore or not, that you can protect your client company, that they cannot default in that way that it will lead to insolvency. Change in documentation for business entity to build in protection against insolvency attacks. Training of human resources in purchase accounts and other departments regarding protecting the business from insolvency attacks. How you will train the human resources in purchase and accounts so that they can take up the services and they can lodge their complaint and their issues if that are not up to mark and up to level of the company quality. So in that case, if that invoice is disputed, they cannot threat you that in case of default, you have to opt for insolvency cases. So in that case, you can train your people that with every invoice and every purchase, they can be careful that if that is a genuine, they can pass that things, otherwise raise as an on basis that at that time they can raise their issues and objections. So they cannot, in a future period, they cannot attack you through insolvency. Training and change in internal documents for recovery of debt through IBC, that you can also propose your company. Options available under IBC for recovery of normal business data and advances. Drafting of notices for defaulters. You can draft notice to the defaulters of the company. You can also give all these advisory to the company so that another company to whom they are serving, they can be protected from that insolvency attacks. Preparation of petition for NCLT. This is a major area of art and craft, and as an advocate, they are always flourished and always be reliable that every insolvency professional, every cases will be going through NCLT and NCLAT only through the advocates. And this is a niche area of advocates that they can prepare the petition for NCLT against operational creditor and financial creditor, or even for insolvency professional also. Representation before NCLT and NCLAT for recovery of debt of your clients. Also, you can represent your client for all those recovery. Or if your client is going through all these things, that's okay. You can directly provide that advisory to that company. But if your client is interested, and if your client, some other client are going through insolvency processes and all these things, so to protect your client interest, that whether they are getting all those money as per law or not, as per eligibility or not, it's your advisory that will work and maximize the results also. So guiding clients for taking over companies under IBC, you can be advisor to resolution applicants who are the investors. You can be advisor to that companies also as a guiding clients for taking over companies under IBC, that whether you can take up that company or not, you can purchase that company or not, whether it will be profitable in the future or not, whether you can sell those companies in a major profit or not in after 2 or 3 years down the line. Complete advisory services for strategy, preparation of documents, process, implementation, for submission of resolution plan to take over the corporate data. Preparation of resolution plan with sustainable debt and restructuring of debt and equity. Arrangement of funds for taking over companies under IBC. Consultancy for acquisition funding under IBC. Representation, the resolution applicant before RP and COC. You can take up that cases also. Transaction audit and forensic audit, as we have already discussed, that under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, there are some sections, specific sections 43, 45, 50, and 66. Those are talking about these buffet transactions, preferentials, underlined, and this favorable transactions. Preferential transactions under section 43 and 44, undervalued transactions under section 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49, extortionate credit transactions under 50 and 51, section 49, 66, 67, 69, fraudulent transactions. And these transactions can be identified and reported as a transaction auditor by you as a professional if you are engaged by insolvency professionals. Complete independence and character and profile which is not influenced by external pressure is required under these transaction audit. That will be filed directly to NCLT, and they will take care of all these transactions, whether it will be reversed or whether it will be taken care or not. Services as a registered valuer. as we have talked, that you can become a registered valuer and give your services. Valuation under IBC is mandatory. During CIRP, the code mandates to appoint of 2 valuers for ascertaining the value of the estate of the debtor, and the valuer have to determine the fair value and the liquidation value of the assets of the corporate debtor. Valuation under various provisions of the Companies Act also required, and if you are a registered valuer, you will be engaged in that kind of valuation. Valuation under SEBI law and regulations are also mandatory and legally required, so you can take up that cases also as a registered valuer. Valuation under Sashakt scheme as per RBI circular, there is also some valuation required, and as a registered valuer you can opt for that. Valuation under Income Tax Act also required, and that registered valuer can act as a that valuer under income tax also. Now, consultancy under Sashakt scheme of the RBI. RBI circular dated 12th February, and in June 2019, they have the internal restructuring of defaulted debts. Report of the committee constituted under chairmanship of Sri Mehta, Sunil Mehta, CMD of Punjab National Bank. Sorry. Internal restructuring is mandated by RBI within 180 days of the default. Categorization of default under SMA 0, 1 or 2 for early reporting of defaults for all accounts with an exposure of 5 crores and above, presently applicable to across the total exposure of 2000 crores or above from all the lenders. Other group would be covered gradually. Resolution plan is required to be submitted by defaulter, similar to IBC with sustainable debt and proposed restructuring. Similar meetings of lenders with the voting shares can be opted under this scheme. So this is all about our opportunities under IBC. And in the last, I can say you that our Indian economy right now is on the same platform where China was before 20 years. In those 20 years, China has surpassed the US also and other countries. So, and becoming wealthy. All their stakeholders, businessmen as well as professionals, they become wealthy in that way. And we are on that verge right now. So in the next 20, 25 years or 30 years, we have the golden chance to grab all these opportunities, take all our business to an international level, to all these businesses and opportunities, and as a professional services, we can take up all these in a grand way and become wealthy. If we are not doing all these things, certainly we are not up to mark. So kindly arise, awake, and conquer your goal right now. This is the golden time for all those professionals who are working and who are going through all these professional areas and picking all those services related to economy. Thank you very much to all of you for your patience hearing, and I am open for all those queries, discussions, whether it is related to this IBC or not. As a professional, we can also talk and we can discuss the things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your such a valuable informations.
Thank you, sir.
And once we talks about the transactions, then how many years means, suppose if the company goes in the insolvency in suppose 2023 December.
Yes.
Then if all the transactions takes place, suppose 3 months, 4 months or 6 months earlier, and all the amounts have been siphoned up.
Yes.
By that company.
Yes.
And then there's some plan that you should go for the insolvency. Then what is the time period to take
Sir,
all this time?
Sir, 2 years and 1 year has been time frame that you can plan your company or your client that before 2 years, for 2 years, they will take all those transactions in neat and clean way, and they cannot siphon or they cannot transact with their related parties, undervalued transactions, or doing any fraudulent activity. But kindly remember that if those are fraudulent, there is a no time limit. Any time of fraudulent if you have done, and if that audit has to be started as a fraudulent transactions, so in that case, any time period can be covered. But for related party transactions, for undervalued transactions, for interested party transactions, for some your subsidiary or another company transaction, that is 2-year period is required to be taken care of.
Means once the insolvency professional is IRP appointed from the date earlier 2 years from the date of the appointment. What is the date?
Not appointment, it's a CIRP started, yes.
From the date of the once
CIRP, 2 years period will be the relevant period where all those related party transactions, undervalued transactions can be taken care by forensic or transaction auditor.
It means once the company planning for the go for the IBC, then all those transactions he has to plan before 2 years back.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. If any one of learned friends, please ask any questions, any queries, please.
सर ऐसे ही बात कर लो आप लोग, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है एकेडमिकली. वीडियो भी ऑन कर सकते हो जो लोग ऑन कर सकते हैं. सर कनेक्ट किया है
सभी लोग से रिक्वेस्ट है कि वीडियो ऑन कर लें, फिर 1-to-1 ट्रांजेक्शन.
You can on.
Yes, sir.
If some has some limitations, that's not a problem.
No, there is no limitations. All are the professionals.
Sir, some Sakshi has asked a question in chat box. If you
Yes.
could please answer it.
Just a minute, I can see the chat. Good afternoon, sir. What skills are required for becoming expertise in the field of finance and taxation? Sakshi, required of becoming expertise in the field of finance, you must have the numerical skill as well as whatever the professionals and legal acumen you have, that is required for becoming a finance and taxation expert or professional in that way. I'm a science graduate. After science graduation, and that is from biology, I have started the ABCD of commerce. Debit and credit I come to know after my graduation. So thereafter I have learned all those things. So skill is only the things that you can honestly go through your goals. You can be honest with yourself, whatever you are going through. And then all these skills you have acquired earlier also, that will not gone vain and gone any misuse. So if you are going to be honest and preparing yourself in these financial and legal terms and way, you can be expertise on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Please.
Or anyone, please?
And apart from all these, because right now there is a phenomena which we are seeing, that if you are an insolvency professional or you have been appointed to the insolvency professional, so many advocates, so many valuers, so many chartered accountants, company secretaries, they are flashing mails to you that I'm available for all these services. I'm available for all these services. So you can grab all these opportunities also in that way, that how you will be acquiring your business afterwards, that if a person is knowing to you or not knowing even, a business transaction only, that because they are also required in all those businesses. So if you know any of your client who are going to the stress, if any of your clients client who are going to the stress, if you are your company, another company to whom they are going providing services, they are not paying, they are not in a good way, you can be advisor of that company along with all those IPs or the persons who are dealing with all those things to be an advisor and save that company and procure your business opportunities and professional expertise also. Yes.
नारायण मिश्रा जी, जो जो लोग यहाँ चैट में लिख रहे हैं, रेदर देन चैट में लिखने के, आप लोग फेस टू फेस क्वेश्चन जो भी आए आप डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. सर इज ऑलवेज अवेलेबल, या हैविंग मोर देन 15-20 years ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंस, सो यू कैन डिस्कस. नारायण जी, आपके कुछ सवाल है तो आप यू कैन
Yes.
आस्क, क्योंकि बहुत सारे सर इसमें यंगस्टर्स हैं, तो थोड़ा सा उनको ज्ञान मिल जाएगा और थोड़ा सा आपसे इंस्पिरेशन भी मिलेगा.
Please, sir.
हाँ, बताएं नारायण जी.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I want to know what are the advantages of IBCs for international trade.
How IBC is a company, if going through the stress, they can be resolved and they can get a new life. This is the basic objective of a company. So with the international trade, how we will compare the things? That's I cannot understand that how we will compare the international trade with the company stress right now. Come again if you have some elaborative questions.
No, sir. I want to know only this.
एक बार दोबारा सवाल पूछिए, आपका क्या सवाल था?
सर, मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि आईबीसीज को सर इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड में सर कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, इसका क्या एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज है?
देखिए, इंटरनेशनल ट्रेडिंग अलग एक बिजनेस है, और जो आईबीसी होता है, बेसिकली आईबीसी का जो मेन पर्पज है, अगर कोई कंपनी कोई डिफॉल्ट कर रही है या फिर किसी का पैसा नहीं दे रही है, तो जो क्रेडिटर हैं जिन्होंने पैसे दे रखे हैं, वो आईबीसी के प्रोविजन इन्वोक करके अपने पैसे रिकवर कर सकते हैं. तो बेसिक पर्पज आईबीसी का ये है कि जैसे मान लीजिए अगर कोई इंटरनेशनल ट्रेडर, इंटरनेशनल आपके कोई क्लाइंट हैं, अगर उन्होंने जो है आपके साथ डील किया हुआ है, अगर लेकिन आप जो है डीलिंग को डिफॉल्ट करते हैं, जब आप डिफॉल्ट करेंगे तब वो क्लाइंट जो है वो आईबीसी के प्रोविजंस को इन्वेस्ट करके आपसे रिकवरी कर सकते हैं. दिस इज द स्पेशली मैकेनिज्म टू रिकवर द अमाउंट, क्योंकि इसमें सर ने जैसा बताया कि जो टाइम पीरियड है वो बिल्कुल लिमिटेड टाइम पीरियड है, विद इन दैट टाइम पीरियड ही आपको रिकवरी होगी.
Nityanand ji,
जी प्लीज.
actually this IBC is not for recovery, it is for resolution, which Mr.
हाँ, ठीक
Tiwari
है.
can confirm.
Yes, of course. That is not exactly for the recovery, but
Yeah.
most of the cases are being filed by the company as a creditor.
Yes.
The basic purpose is, अगर दूसरे तरह से अगर घुमा फिरा के कहें कि the basic purpose is only the person are filing the cases before the IBC, only
Yes.
to recover that amount. Even the lenders like as a bankers, they
Yeah,
have paid
indirectly the
certain-
purpose is recovery indirectly, but on paper it is not for recovery.
Yes. बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं कि the persons who have defaulted in making the payment, then the
Yes.
another person go for the insolvency of that particular company. लेकिन
Yes,
कई बार जो है उसको ऐसा एक मैकेनिज्म है कि जिससे थोड़ा सा प्रेशर बनाने के लिए लोग आईबीसी में चले जाते हैं, और उसका पर्पज यही रहता है कि भाई हमारे पैसे थोड़ा जल्दी रिकवर हो जाएंगे.
Yes, no, this is the
हाँ, लेकिन स्ट्रिक्ट वर्डिंग्स अगर लॉ की कहें तो ऐसे तो नहीं. ठीक है, बाकी आपका बिल्कुल सही है. यू आर आल्सो आईपी प्रोफेशनल्स
okay.
Sir, Narayan ji, sir, thank you, sir.
जी प्लीज.
नारायण जी को मैं एक चीज कहूंगा कि इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड और जो कंपनीज हैं इंडिया में, अगर आप ये देखो तो डायरेक्टली रिलेशन कोई नहीं है, बट यू कैन think you can manage your company or client, that how they will take away all these things in their international business and how they will save their all these issues here in India. That we can suggest, we can advise, and we can be in that way frame the workings that how it will be beneficial for their international trade. That will be separately, that is a cross border transactions, whether they are that cross border transactions, cross border assets can be available to that IBC or not. These are a separate area. if a company is working, that depends on the company to company, that how we will mitigate their losses, how we can maximize their business profits, and how we can save that business from international trade business as well as Indian business also.
आईबीसी के आने से एक एडवांटेज है, जो फॉरेनर्स हैं, जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, वो उनको ये लगता है कि हमारा जो भी अमाउंट हमने इन्वेस्ट किया हुआ, दैट आवर अमाउंट इज सेव। एक जो है इंडियन गवर्नमेंट ये एक मैसेज देने की कोशिश कर रही है थ्रू दिस आईबीसी कोड कि आप जो भी अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, योर अमाउंट इज सेफ एंड सिक्योर। अगर कोई दिक्कत होती है तो बहुत ज़्यादा आपको तकलीफ नहीं होगी।
टाइम बाउंड मैनर में आपको
टाइम
वापस
बाउंड
होगा
मैनर में,
और एग्जैक्टली और
टाइम बाउंड मैनर में जो है ये आपका काम हो जाएगा। और इंडियन कंपनीज को भी इस बात का डर है कि अगर वो आईबीसी में चले गए तो फिर जो है हमारी कंपनी का बंद होने का खतरा ज़्यादा मंडराने लगता है। जैसे ही आईबीसी आईआरपी अपॉइंट होते हैं तो बहुत सारी कंपनियां सोचती हैं कि भाई हमारा हाथ से जो है मैनेजमेंट छिन जाएगा। जब मैनेजमेंट ही छिन जाएगा तो फिर तो उनके पास कुछ बचेगा ही नहीं। तो इट इज़ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट टेक्निक, मतलब जो भी कोड लाने का पर्पज भी यही था।
उसी से ईज ऑफ बिजनेस का रैंकिंग इंक्रीज हुआ है सर।
जी 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 जी। सर जैसे इसमें फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर्स का जो इन्होंने जो अमेंडमेंट लेके आए, और उसमें कुछ कहा गया जैसे रियल एस्टेट बिजनेस के लिए कि 10% ऑफ द टोटल अलॉटीज या 100 whichever is less।
जी, उन्होंने जो अलॉटीज हैं उनको एज ए फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर का स्टेज दिया, एंड एज ए फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर 10% आइदर 100 ऑफ फ्लैट ओनर्स हो, ऑफ दैट क्लास ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स हो इनफैक्ट, एंड आइदर वो हो या 10% ऑफ टोटल प्रोजेक्ट वैल्यू के फ्लैट ओनर्स हो, दे कैन गो टू द आईबीसी अगेंस्ट दैट प्रोजेक्ट, against that company, and they can resolve their cases through IBC. So this is only the case.
तो सर जैसे ये जो है 10% ऑफ द अलॉटीज, अगर हम जो इसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं, सर थोड़ा सा ये तो टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन है, लेकिन फिर भी अगर आपके पास समय है तो मैं 2 मिनट ले लूँ।
नहीं, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर। 10% ऑफ द अलॉटीज होता है कि जो जिनको हमने ऑलरेडी, जैसे जब प्रोजेक्ट आप रियल एस्टेट का कोई भी बिजनेस का प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट करते हैं, तो प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट करने के साथ आप इनिशियल मनी लेते हैं। इनिशियल मनी लेने के बाद ही आप अलॉटमेंट का उसको एक वो दे देते हैं कि आपका इतना इतना अलॉट हो गया। अब जब प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट सपोज करिए कि आपका 1 करोड़ का कोई फ्लैट है, 1 करोड़ के फ्लैट में आपने अगर सपोज करिए कि 25 लाख या 30 लाख रुपए अभी तक दे दिए, और वो प्रोजेक्ट डिले हो रहा है या प्रोजेक्ट आगे का स्टेज वो कंटिन्यू नहीं कर रहा है, तो जहां तक जिस स्टेज तक आपका अमाउंट का कैलकुलेशन है, जैसे वो कहते हैं कि पहले प्लिंथ एरिया है, फिर प्लिंथ के बाद आप 7 फ्लोर तक आप अपने करते हो, फिर उसके बाद ये वाला एरिया करते हो, तो 2-3 सेगमेंट में डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड होता है। एंड हेरा हैज आल्सो डिसाइडेड ऑल दीज सेगमेंटेशन एंड वैल्यूएशन। तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग अगर आप सपोज करिए कि 30 लाख तक अगर आप कैलकुलेट करते हैं, तो वहां तक का आप देख लीजिए कि आपका टोटल प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट कितना होना चाहिए आउट ऑफ ऑल दोज प्रपोज्ड जो रियल एस्टेट का वैल्यू है, आपका उसमें कितना शेयर बनता है, आप कितने हैं, तो उसमें वो 10% का अगर वो शेयर ओनर मिल जाते हैं एक साथ, वो सिर्फ एप्लीकेशन देने के लिए वो क्राइटेरिया है। जब एक बार सीआईआरपी स्टार्ट होता है तो फॉर एवरीवन दैट हैज बीन स्टार्टेड।
नहीं सर, जैसे मान लीजिए सपोज अगर 600 टोटल नंबर ऑफ अलॉटी, 600 लोगों ने मेरे पास बुक किए पैसे
जी,
600 लोगों में से अगर मान लीजिए 100 लोग ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने, अगर सपोज प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट 1 करोड़ रुपए का फ्लैट है, उन्होंने केवल बुकिंग अमाउंट दी 3 लाख या 5 लाख रुपए, सपोज अगर उन्होंने केवल बुकिंग अमाउंट दिया, बुकिंग अमाउंट देने के बाद पैसे नहीं दिए,
ठीक है,
हमने उनका जो है कैंसिलेशन लेटर भेज दिया कि योर फ्लैट इज बीइंग कैंसल्ड। तो अब ये सवाल ये है कि क्या अगर हमने उनका फ्लैट कैंसिल कर दिया तो वो क्या टोटल नंबर ऑफ अलॉटीज में आएंगे या नहीं आएंगे?
सर डिपेंड करता है कि आपकी जो रियल एस्टेट का प्रोजेक्ट है,
जी,
प्रोजेक्ट में आउट ऑफ 600 अगर सिर्फ 100 लोगों को कैंसिल किया है, इट
जी
मींस बाकी 500 आदमी आपका ये दे रहा है, कंप्लीट
जी,
वो दे रहा है,
कंप्लीट दे रहा जी,
कंप्लीट अमाउंट दे रहा है, एज पर स्टेज वाइज दे रहा है।
जी
एज पर स्टेज वाइज अगर दे रहा है तो एज पर स्टेज वाइज उसकी कंप्लीशन हो रही होगी तभी दे रहा है।
जी जी बिल्कुल दे रहा है जी।
ठीक है, तो
जी
फिर
जी।
उस वाले कंडीशन में आपका अलॉटमेंट अगर कैंसिल ही हो गया तो आप फिर उस वाले अलॉटमेंट के अलॉटी के कंडीशन में ही नहीं आओगे। आप इसको एज ए थ्रेटनिंग या एज ए इंसॉल्वेंसी का रिकवरी का मैकेनिज्म तो नहीं बना सकते। किसी को हैम्पर तो जबरदस्ती तो नहीं जाके कह सकते कि नहीं जी हमारे ये पैसे इसने 5 रुपए नहीं दिए इसलिए हम इसको इंसॉल्वेंसी में ले जाएं। तो वैसे वाले कंडीशन में अगर आप देखते हो कि प्रोजेक्ट आपका सही सलामत चल रहा है,
जी।
कंप्लीशन उसके स्टेज के अकॉर्डिंग है,
हम्म।
मेजॉरिटी या जो आपके मैक्सिमम लोग हैं, जैसे 600 का 60 होता है 10%, तो
जी जी जी।
ऑलरेडी वो 60 से ज्यादा लोग हैं, तो
जी
वो
जी।
10% तो हो गए, वो हमारे कंडीशन
हम्म।
को फुलफिल करते हैं।
जी
या
जी
100
जी।
लोगों का क्राइटेरिया भी फुलफिल कर रहे हैं वो।
जी।
बट स्टिल अगर प्रोजेक्ट कंटिन्यूएशन बेसिस पे है और आपके पर्सनल डिफॉल्ट्स हैं जो आप नहीं पूरे कर रहे हो, तो पहले तो वो पर्सनल डिफॉल्ट, और जो डिफॉल्ट जिनका होता है ऑलरेडी वो डिस्प्यूटेड केसेस हैं, तो डिस्प्यूट वाले वैसे ही नहीं जा सकते वहां पे इंसॉल्वेंसी में।
अच्छा, जिनका हमने कैंसिल कर दिया वो जो है वो यहाँ
नहीं
पे
जा
इंसॉल्वेंसी में नहीं जा सकते।
नहीं, वो एप्लीकेशन के लिए अप्लाई ही नहीं कर सकते सर। एप्लीकेशन ही उनका एलिजिबल नहीं होगा। कोई भी ऑपरेशनल क्रेडिटर या फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर का अगर कोई डिस्प्यूट चल रहा है किसी चीज को लेके, मतलब हमारे इनवॉइस को लेके कि हमने
हम्म।
इनवॉइस ही नहीं दिया, या हमने गुड्स सप्लाई ठीक नहीं किया, या हमने कुछ वैसा नहीं पेमेंट किया, तो उस वाले कंडीशन में वो एलिजिबल ही नहीं होते हैं कि आपको उसको एज ए फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिटर या ऑपरेशनल क्रेडिटर उसको कंटिन्यू करो।
अच्छा
सर इस
ठीक है।
पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट को आप दोबारा इलेबोरेट करेंगे? ये 10% और 100 वाला क्राइटेरिया जो है इन केस ऑफ रियल एस्टेट प्रोजेक्ट, आई थिंक दिस इज नॉट क्लियर. आई एम पार्टली विद नित्या, बट एट द सेम टाइम आई थिंक आई वुड लाइक यू टू क्लैरिफाई on this 10% and 100 criteria.
जी, क्लास ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स में 10% ऑफ द टोटल प्रोजेक्ट वैल्यू या
The project जो है ये प्रोजेक्ट वैल्यू बोलते हैं because as per our understanding it is not the project value, it is 10% of the allottees. So that's why I was saying if you can elaborate on this. There's some confusion on this.
नो नो मिस्टर महाजन साहब, ये जो है ना, द 10% ऑफ द टोटल नंबर ऑफ द अलॉटीज ही हैं।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
हाँ।
That's what I'm saying. But what sir was saying, he was saying percent of the value. So that's what I said कि let him explain because
नहीं
that.
नहीं नहीं, अलॉटीज है, अलॉटीज है।
हाँ जी.
10% ऑफ द टोटल नंबर ऑफ
अलॉटीज
अलॉटीज
और
आर
100 अलॉटीज।
100।
जी,
जी जी।
तिवारी जी, वन
they do not have the
clarification
dispute
required.
earlier। जी,
So like in case of say like 100 allottees or 10% of allottees, I'm not talking about that. If a single home buyer,
जी,
he paid more than 1 crore rupees,
जी।
and this builder has not delivered the project, so can he go alone for petty
No sir, no
insolvency,
sir, no sir, no sir, no sir, that is a
even if
personal
it is
dispute.
more than 1 crore?
That is a personal, yes sir, that is a personal dispute that cannot be
No, not personal
resolved.
dispute, not personal dispute. Means ki that unit has not been delivered to that particular, or maybe there are more than say one, there may be 100 or maybe 50 allottees to whom the project is overall delayed. But now one person is interested to file petition in NCLT for, and he has paid more than 1 crore rupees.
No
So
sir,
can he go?
no sir,
He
he
cannot
can,
go.
he cannot. He has to take class of creditors, and that class of creditors will be 10% or 100 of that class.
But in case of other financial creditors and operational creditors, 1 crore is the limit.
That financial creditor tag is only for the purpose and sake of doing proceeding CIRP, that they are still not financial creditor and other benefits are not available to them as a financial creditor.
So you mean to say that no, like say operational creditor, if that company owes more than 1 crore rupees, he can file petition after following the procedure. So same way home buyer, to
They
whom
cannot,
company,
they cannot go sir.
individual cannot do that.
No, no.
So minimum 10 or 10% or 100 are
10% of
required.
total allottees or 100.
That is mandatory.
Yes, that is.
Okay, thank
Add
you.
something saying sir, 1 crore की बात ये पहले होती थी when even a single home buyer used to go. Now that has been changed. So
Yes,
now
sir.
it's around 100 people. Earlier, it used to be there, even one single person with his own claim, even less than 1 CR used to go as a home buyer, but वो change हो गया है.
जी जी जी,
Okay.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. थैंक यू सर, आपने जो है बहुत ही कीमती समय हम लोगों के लिए 1 घंटा का समय दिया और इससे ज़्यादा दिया. आपका बहुत ही वैल्यूएबल समय, कीमती समय आपने निकाला हमारे लिए. वी आर सो थैंकफुल. यस मिस आकिया यासिका, give the vote of thanks to sir and all the members who are joined today. Yasika.
Yes, yes, sir. I stand here today as proud and grateful to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who have made this session possible. I would like to start by thanking Vidya Vijay Foundation, who have always been supportive and encouraged us to strive for excellence. I would also like to extend my gratitude to CA Manindra K. Tiwari, who have been our guiding lights, imparting wisdom and knowledge to us and nurturing our talents. Their unwavering support has been instrumental in our growth and development. I would like to express my appreciation to our guests who have taken time out of their busy schedule to grace this occasion with their presence. Your presence has added an extra spark to this session and made it even more special. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
सर
Thank you
बहुत
all.
बहुत धन्यवाद आपका, और हमारे सभी साथियों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जिन्होंने जो अपना समय निकाल करके इस प्लेटफॉर्म को ज्वाइन किया.
Thank you very much.
Always available, sir. Thank you.
We take the session in each second and fourth Saturday, and specialists like Tiwari ji and another specialist are also, we always request to spare their time to give their valuable suggestions, valuable insight, thoughts. So thank you to all of you. We will meet on the fourth Saturday. Thank you. Namaskar.